The information contained in this video is intended for educational purposes. We are not responsible for any damage to your device resulting from improper disassembly or installation. Proceed at your own risk.
This is Mike from GoCellPhoneRepair.com, and today I'm going to show you how to remove the screen display from your Galaxy S4 Active. And I have a guest technician, Mauricio, who is going to actually be doing the repair. We are going to start by removing the rear panel first, and from there we'll take out the battery, the SIM card, and the micro SD card. We want to make sure these are out of the way so that when we pull the rear panel off, we don't cause any damage to any of the above, which is unlikely but always entirely possible. From that point, you've got four little caps on the corners, and we found that a straight pin worked really well to just kind of pry up underneath them. They're held on by an adhesive, and once you get them pulled up a little bit, you can kind of go in there and grab a hold of them with a pair of tweezers. And these are covering four of the access screws for the rear panel. So there's about a dozen altogether, but to get to the outer four, you will have to remove these little caps. And set those aside. I would recommend you set them down sticky side up. You don't really want them sticking to your work area or getting dirty. Hopefully you can preserve the adhesive so that we can stick them back on when we get done. I can't think of any reason why they're really crucial to have, but it does give it a nice finished look. So we'll try to set those aside and put them back on when we get done. And once you got all four caps off, we'll go ahead and proceed to remove all of the screws from the rear panel. Some of these are a little tough to get out. You can back them out all the way and they still kind of get stuck in the frame. So you might have to go inside with a pair of tweezers or your fingers or whatever it takes. Just grab a hold of them and pull them out of the phone. Again, if you're looking for parts, tools, or any updated information about this repair, just click on the little box up there in the corner of the display, or you can check the video description and you'll find links throughout the video that will take you to GoCellPhoneRepair.com. Right, so from this point, it's pretty easy to pry the back panel off. There doesn't seem to be much in the way of clips holding it together, but you may have to just pry in there with a thin pry tool to get it started. And from there, you can kind of work your way around. Very easy to remove this panel, surprisingly easy, I would say, but you can see they've got the water-resistant traces going around the outside of it there. And we went ahead and pulled the board on this phone. You will not have to do that for this repair. Fortunately, you can actually just release the connector for the LCD, for the display, and that will go right through the midframe. If you have a really bad shattered screen, it's a good idea to put some tape on the front of it so that you don't get glass all over the place, and then we'll just go ahead and heat this up. You want to get the temperature up to at least about 95-100 degrees on the surface. The slower you heat it, the better. That way it allows it to penetrate the glass and get underneath where the adhesive is, and that's where we're going to be prying. We want to separate the glass from the frame. Interesting thing about this phone, the only adhesive present is around the perimeter. There's nothing in the center, and even down here at the bottom where we started with the razor blade just to kind of get under the edge of the glass, and then of course we're going to switch over to a plastic tool as soon as possible. There's not too much that you can damage other than possibly cutting into the bezel with the razor blade, because there are no cables on the front of the phone, which is really nice. So again, makes it a very easy repair to perform. Probably a good place to start if you've never repaired a phone before. Once you get this pried up, get your plastic tool underneath there and just work your way around, and you'll find that it comes apart pretty easy. It's really similar adhesive wise to doing something like an LG Nexus 5 or Nexus 4. Now you don't have to go in very far, just about 1/4 of an inch or so, and work your way around. There's not too much sticky stuff here, so you're basically wanting to get underneath the painted line. And of course you won't be able to get through where the buttons are there at the bottom, but just go ahead and work your way all the way around the perimeter of the phone, and you'll see that this thing opens up somewhat easy. Now this one, for some reason, the display ended up getting stuck inside. There was a little too much adhesive still, but for the most part, once you get all the way around, you'll see that the glass releases from the midframe and just kind of pops right up like that. And you can see there it kind of separated a little bit. We got all three pieces. In fact, kind of interesting here, you can see the different layers of the display on the inside. So we'll have to go ahead and get inside there and get underneath that reflective material on the back. That's the final piece that needs to come out. But again, raise this up and you can just feed the cable right through the midframe and comes apart really, really easy. And you see, just kind of took the tool and went ahead and got underneath the display. The whole thing comes up. And from here, what we're going to want to do is go ahead and remove all of the old adhesive. I highly recommend you use pre-cut adhesive for this repair if you want to retain your phone's IP rating or at least be close to the original. And that's kind of the big deal about this phone is water resistance. You want to use a complete adhesive that's cut to fit the phone. Trying to do it by hand and cutting out your own stuff will work, but you're never going to get close to getting a good seal around the outside of that. So by all means, invest the $1.50, $3 or whatever it is to get the pre-cut adhesive, and it will pay off in the long run for sure. If you found the video helpful, hit the like button and feel free to share it on the social network platform of your choice. Check out some of my recent repair and product review videos and visit us on the web at gocellphonerepair.com. Thanks for watching.